right now.
Hey there, good morning. It is Tuesday, July 2nd. We hope you're having a good one.
Absolutely. Terrific Tuesday, as our producer put in our prompter. I also like to think about it as Taco Tuesday.
Oh, yes.
As well. Baby, I'm just hungry.
You must be hungry.
Yes. Whatever gets you going, breakfast, coffee, whatever it is. Hopefully you guys are having a good morning so far. And want to go to weather now with Justin because I have a little bit of developments out there in the tropics and also our local weather. Still feeling hot out there, Justin.
Of course. And if you say Taco Tuesday, that means you have to provide tacos, RJ. We'll send you out for some here soon. Yes, it is going to be hot. There's no doubt about it. We hope for changes this time of year because we kind of get stuck in this pattern, right? I do think we get some changes by the weekend. I think you're going to like them. So let's first start with the forecast for today. 78 degrees at 7 o'clock. We're going to be up around 100 today. Again, no surprise to anybody here. Feels like 100 around 1 o'clock. It'll feel like 103 around 4 p.m. So that is our high. Mostly sunny skies today. Same old, same old. But here's where we look for some changes. And part of that's going to come with what evolves from Hurricane Beryl, which, by the way, is just a massive, powerful storm. Category 5 storm, the earliest Category 5 storm on record in the Atlantic. It has winds of 165 miles per hour. Did a lot of damage to the islands yesterday, the Caribbean islands. So where does it go from here? Well, it moves towards Jamaica. Will be a Category 3 storm still a major hurricane even on Wednesday. So folks around Jamaica are going to have to really take some precautions there. This heads toward Cancun and Cozumel as we head into Friday. And then crosses into the Gulf of Mexico, as we've been talking about, probably weakening to a tropical storm. From there, though, still lots of questions. How exactly strong will it be? And then does it take a turn to the north, depending on what happens with high pressure to our east? And what state is it in, as we said, once it reemerges in the Gulf of Mexico? So these are all questions we got to answer before we get any significant change in the forecast for what it means for us. So Beryl's possible paths, we're going to take a look at those. The float forecast, if you're heading to the rivers for the 4th of July, we'll look at that. It's not great. I'll just give you a sneak peek. And water levels, those aren't great either. All that's coming up here in just a couple minutes, guys.
All right, quick check of our traffic here as we take you outside TransGuide traffic cameras and taking a look at 151 loop 410 right there, west side of town, 281 at 410 near the airport. The only thing that TxDOT's reporting right now is a stalled vehicle, I-10 eastbound at Fulton. So that's going to be in the Hildebrand area, a little bit northwest of downtown San Antonio. So keep that one in mind if you're about to head out. Let's go ahead and check in real quick with photojournalist Alex Gomez. He's hitting the roads for us this morning. Alex, how are things looking out there?
I think they're okay, RJ. I made my way all the way up to the north side. This is 281 northbound near Encino, Rio. So far, everything looks good. It's calm. I'm going to check out this new construction area, though, 281 near Sonterra. So once I find that area, I'm going to let you know how it goes. But so far, so good, RJ.
All right. Thank you very much, Alex.
All right, this morning we are learning more about the fire that burned down the old Buc-ee's rest stop in Luling. This is video of what's left of the original Buc-ee's. The building caught fire late yesterday morning. More than a dozen fire departments responded to the scene, and according to one official with the Luling Fire Department, it took about 2 hours to put out the flames.
The overall building was like I said, in the process of being demoed, so we weren't not going to risk anything because it was going to be tore down anyways, but we contained it pretty much to the area they were working, and they'll still continue to demo the rest.
And we're told crews were moving old beams in the building, and one of the beams hit something and sparked the fire. The original store was built in 2003. Last month, Buc-ee's opened a new store next to the property.
And we have an update here because it's been 2 months since the data hack over at Central Med, and patients are still calling KSAT for much needed help. The clinic says that someone got into its patient records in late April, putting the personal information of 400,000 current and former patients at risk. But patients' concerns are shifting from their personal information being compromised to having trouble getting health care services. We've heard from several Central Med patients. Their complaints have included difficulty scheduling appointments, getting referrals, not having access to medical records, as well as trouble filling necessary prescriptions.
My wife tried to call to get a couple scripts refilled. She couldn't.
Give me a referral for my prescriptions because my blood pressure is high and it's been high since February.
and I don't want to have an episode where I'm back in the hospital or I'm with my kids and something happens to me, all because y'all can't get y'all together.
Yeah, you could just see how frustrating that is, and frustrating for us too. We're still trying to get answers from Central Med. We have called and emailed several times since our report weeks ago on May 24th. We want to know where things stand currently and what is being done to help those patients. And the former site of the First Baptist Church in Sutherland Springs is set to be demolished. It was the scene of a horrific mass shooting that happened nearly 7 years ago and had been set up as a memorial to those lives lost. In November of 2017, a gunman entered the building and killed 26 people during Sunday service. Church members were told yesterday and today that the sanctuary would be open for final visits. We have reached out to the church leadership for more information about when the demolition may happen, but have not heard back yet.
The family of a Chicago woman missing in the Bahamas is now pleading for support from the U.S. government. Taylor Casey was last seen June 19th while attending a yoga retreat on Paradise Island. Casey's mother traveled to the retreat looking for answers. She says she had to beg to talk to students at the retreat and says it felt like the students were told what to say and what not to say. Now, authorities say they've spoken to a number of people and deployed drones, divers, and a canine unit to search for Casey. Police were able to find her cell phone in the ocean last week, but the family says authorities refused to turn over the phone.
Well, 2 years after a college student died after drinking a caffeinated lemonade from Panera Bread, her parents are now filing a lawsuit against that company. Sarah Katz suffered a cardiac arrest after drinking Panera's charged lemonade. Katz had a heart condition, and her parents said that she wouldn't have drank the lemonade if she knew what was in it. Their lawsuit says that Panera did not put out warnings about caffeine content in that drink.
Time right now, 5:07, 79 degrees out there already.
All right, we are getting things moving here on your Tuesday. Still ahead, Facebook owner Meta will soon start labeling AI images on their platforms. We're going to tell you what prompted the change coming up in your Tech Bites.
And also coming up, Jamie Foxx is finally opening up about the medical emergency he suffered last year. Those details in your GMA First Look.
And we're going to take you outside with live cam, of course. We got some traffic moving along the highways there, and yeah, feeling it already. Definitely getting warm out there as we get set for your Tuesday morning. We'll check in with Justin and get you the latest forecast.
But before we head to break, we want to get you to late breaking news on the east side. San Antonio police are searching for the suspects involved in a drive-by shooting that happened around 3:30 a.m. at Rigsby Avenue and Amanda Street. That is near I-10 and Pecan Valley Drive. Now, police tell us the person was shot in the back and taken to the hospital in serious condition.
And this is video that we're just getting into KSAT right now. And at this point, it's unclear what led to this shooting. Several witnesses were also inside the victim's vehicle when he was shot. And we're told that investigators only have a description of a dark colored car that was involved in the shooting. We will keep you updated as we learn more.
Actor Jamie Foxx is revealing new details of what led to his medical emergency last year. ABC's Ike Ejachi has the details in today's GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, Jamie Foxx sharing more details about his medical emergency that landed him in the hospital last year.
April 11th last year, bad headache. Asked my boy for an Advil. Was gone for 20 days. I don't remember anything.
The Academy Award-winning actor and comedian speaking to a group of fans in Phoenix, Arizona over the weekend.
So they told me, I'm in Atlanta, they told me, my sister and my daughter took me to the first doctor. Did the cortisone shot. Next doctor said, something going on up there. I won't say it on camera.
It seems like Jamie is kind of still trying to process exactly what happened to him.
So what's next for Jamie Foxx as he opens up about his health complication? We'll have much more coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Ike Ejachi, ABC News, New York.
Yeah, I remember that was a big mystery why he was in the hospital, and we weren't getting too many details on his condition.
Yeah, hopefully we'll solve that mystery.
Good to see. Yeah, I do like Jamie Foxx, his movies. He's an awesome entertainer. Right now, time 5:12, and man, 79 degrees already outside.
It was hot. I went out there. All right. Do you own some original Apple AirPods? Apparently, they are now vintage items. We'll explain why in your Tech Bites.
Man, can't keep anything nowadays without something new coming out. All right, Drive Cam, real quick. Photojournalist Alex Gomez is checking on the roads for us. He was on 281 earlier, so we'll go ahead and check back in with him and give you a quick update on the traffic across the city of San Antonio. We'll be right back.
Hey, I'll give you $574 if you switch.
For Gerald?
Well, okay. So what about $574 for switching your home insurance to Allstate?
Well, I try not to think about home insurance too complicated.
Actually, Allstate can handle the switching for you. Just call them.
It's that easy to save?
Yep. And you get Allstate.
Oh, well, that's a step up. Goodbye, Gerald.
Oh, check Allstate first and you could save hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
To stay on top of my game, I need to keep up my energy.
Cliff Bar is purposely crafted with 10 grams of protein and organic oats.
Because the more good you put in, the more great you get out.
Cliff, the most important ingredient is you.
Did you know that if you shave, 1/3 of what you remove is skin? New Dove helps repair it. So if you shave it, Dove it. New Dove. Replenish your skin after every shave.
5:16, welcome back to Good Morning San Antonio. While following a number of complaints, Meta will soon start labeling images generated by AI on their platforms like Instagram and Facebook. Here's more on your Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Facebook and Instagram parent Meta updating its Made with AI labels. The wording is changing to AI info. The change comes after photographers complained that Meta was mistakenly flagging non-AI generated content. Meta says the old labels didn't always provide enough context. Spotify is testing an emergency alert system in Sweden. It would send out information about accidents, serious events, or disruptions of important services. Spotify says the goal right now is to see whether the app can support emergency alerts, which could increase its usage. Apple is adding more items to its list of vintage products. The iPhone X, the first generation HomePod, and the first generation AirPods have been reclassified as vintage. They were released in 2017 and 2016. Products are considered vintage when Apple stopped distributing them for sales between 5 and 7 years ago. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
All right, quick check of our traffic right now at 5:17, and things looking pretty good for the most part across the city as we take a look. 410 Jackson Keller, I-10 at Frio, of course, that's in the downtown area. That bridge joint work continues to take place right there. 35 at Alamo, same situation there as well. Let's check in with photojournalist Alex Gomez. He was checking out a little bit of construction earlier on 281 on the far north side. Alex, how are things looking out there?
Well, it's great right now. Yeah, I didn't find any of that construction, so maybe it's going to be for a later date, but 281 in Sonterra is up to speed. I just made my way over here to 1604 West near Lock Hill, Selma. More on the northwest side now, but still everything's pretty smooth, RJ.
All right, thank you very much, Alex. Yeah, we will continue checking with him, and of course, if anything pops up on the roads, we will get more details from photojournalist Alex Gomez on the roads with us. But obviously, weather, Justin, 4th of July coming. It's going to be a big week.
Yes, but quiet, RJ. And I think if you have 4th of July plans, maybe you're grilling out, you're going to hit the pool. It's all good. It's all good. We're going to see very warm temperatures, of course. 100 today, 105 San Angelo, 104 Del Rio. There's probably going to be a few records across the Lone Star State today. But we're used to this, right? The drought monitor, this is where we get into some trouble. We've been in the drought for so long, and our area is still one of the hardest hit in the state. That's what's so frustrating. All of East Texas is basically fine, but you get here around San Antonio, we still have that lack of rainfall. Moderate drought here in town, then you get to more severe drought as you get up towards Bernie, Medina Lake, up towards Kerrville, and then of course Del Rio, Eagle Pass, places that are hurting for rain too. Will we get any? Well, there's some small chances as we get into the weekend. The reason for that, we're going to have a weak frontal boundary come in, so maybe we can get some rain. And if you plan on floating the rivers for 4th of July, ouch. Just know it's going to be slow, okay? Frio, there is no flow. That doesn't mean there's not water in there. It's just not flowing. The Guadalupe and Comau are slow. It's just no two ways around it. Comau is always flowing, but it's as slow as I've seen it in a long time. So it will take some time to float that river. Maybe we can get some rain back in the forecast Saturday and Sunday. That's because, as I said, there's going to be a weak frontal boundary that moves in. That's one factor in all of this. Then as we get into early next week, we could see some influences from the tropics, namely Hurricane Beryl. But there are so many questions when it comes to this hurricane. Let's get out and take a look at the satellite picture. And boy, that is a bowling ball of a storm. This is incredible. Category 5 storm, one of the strongest we've seen in a long time in the Atlantic, and it's early. This is the earliest Category 5 we've ever seen. Right now, winds is 165. Okay, this is out over open ocean, but man, did some damage yesterday in the Windward Islands. Moves towards Jamaica as a major hurricane. As we get into Wednesday until Friday, moves into the Yucatan, Cancun, Cozumel. They're affected by this. Probably a weaker hurricane, but still going to cause some issues. Then it crosses over into the Gulf of Mexico, likely weakening into a tropical storm. This is Sunday morning. But where does it go from here? I think that is the big question. And the questions we've got to answer: what is going to be its exact location, its strength and state as it crosses over the Yucatan? And what about high pressure, which is going to be anchored out here to the east? What does that do to this? I think there are still several scenarios that could play out. One of which is that it brings some moisture to us early next week, but it's just too early to tell. And until we get some more consensus amongst the computer models, we're not going to have an answer just yet. But stay with us, and we'll continue to update you each and every day. 99 Thursday, 99 Friday, there's those rain chances over the weekend. And because we added some moisture and clouds, temperatures do come down Sunday into Monday. We'll be right back.
All right, well, fans of Wicked, listen up. The dates to see the beloved musical's film adaptation from, of course, Wizard of Oz just got moved up.
But that's not all that's happening in Tinseltown. Here's David Daniel with today's Hollywood Minute.
You're the one the wizard has been waiting for.
Wicked fans won't have to wait quite as long to see the film on the big screen. Universal has moved the musical up 5 days to November 22nd. That means instead of opening opposite Moana 2, like Wicked, aimed largely at a female audience, it'll debut opposite Gladiator 2, which figures to draw mainly male ticket buyers.
It's nice you're not on your phone. See a human, not plugged in. It says a lot about you.
I like to think so.
Sean Penn and Dakota Johnson see each other mostly through the cab's rearview mirror in Daddy-O. Writer-director Christy Hall says, going over the script at Penn's house, he put that dynamic into action.
He grabbed a hand mirror and duct taped it to a broom and duct taped that to a chair. And then he sat in front of it with a chair, and then Dakota was sitting on the couch behind him. And then they were like, okay, let's just get this in our bones a little bit. Of course, Dakota and I were giggling a little bit because it was so amazing.
Daddy-O is now in theaters. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Those look good, right?
Yeah. Are you a fan of Wizard of Oz, Wicked, the musical?
I am not, but those look good.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I still, the other day I saw the old Wizard of Oz movie, and I was like, okay. Yeah, this is pretty good stuff.
Through the channel?
Yeah, a little bit. The old movie channel or whatever it is. Yeah.
Time right now, 5:26, 79 degrees.
All right, coming up here in a bit, Six Flags has finished its merger with another theme park company. We're going to tell you what that means for the parks here, of course, in San Antonio and across the state of Texas and around the world.
And just how much money is being spent on fireworks this 4th of July? The short answer, a lot. We'll show you what folks are buying to pop off this Independence Day.
Welcome back to Good Morning San Antonio. We're starting this half hour with the new video from the late-breaking shooting that we talked about a little while ago on the east side of town. San Antonio police are searching for the suspects involved in a drive-by shooting. This happened around 3:30 this morning at Rigsby Avenue and Amanda Street, and that is near I-10 in Pecan Valley.
And police tell us the person was shot in the back and taken to the hospital with serious conditions. At this point, it isn't clear what led to the shooting. Several witnesses were also inside the victim's vehicle when he was shot. We're told investigators only have a description of a dark-colored car that was involved. We'll keep you posted as we learn more on this story.
All right, 5:30 right now. Welcome back. And obviously 4th of July is coming around the corner here. And did you know that the average price a person will pay for fireworks, they're going to spend about $100 this 4th of July. That's pretty crazy, but that's actually on the low end. Yeah, some people have actually been known to spend thousands of dollars.
I don't know how I feel about that. So we went to find out. We went to a warehouse at Southton Road near I-37 to see what is booming this year. It's 4th of July week. That means it's time to set off some booms. We are here with Shailene Salazar at Mr. W Fireworks on the southeast side of the county. Talk to me about what's hot this year.
Have been everything from the smaller pop rocks that are more adult friendly too. So if you don't want to actually set anything off, you want to stay more in the ground, that's something fun you can throw around. We also have these great family bundles. That way you have some fountains, you have some Saturn missiles, as well as firecrackers and some small artillery shells as well.
What's the price range we're looking at here?
So these are around $4. The big bundle pack is $180, but it does come with a lot of different items, so it groups it down and really saves yourself some money on those. This is one you can do. It'll have multiple breaks, so you can have a lot of different explosions and spread them out throughout the night rather than setting off one and it going out in like 2 minutes to 3 minutes. We also have things for the kiddos, more of the ground show, so if you don't want it to explode and go into the air, these stay more towards the ground. We'll do the beautiful colors, showers, crackling, a lot of gold and sparkling on this one.
Okay, and that's about $34. That's my price range right there.
So this one lasts 2 minutes. You'll set it off, face it towards where your family members are, and then you just actually get to watch it do everything by itself, so you don't have to reload on this one, but it is a one light and you get the 2 minute long. And those are for $99.
It does a good job. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you seeing that prices are staying the same, that their prices have gone up?
Ever since COVID, we did see a price jump. But since then, I'm happy to say everything has stayed. Besides a couple products I've seen went up $1, but I've actually seen some of my prices drop this year.
What's the most that you've seen people come in and buy here?
An average is about 100. I've seen the most was last year. They bought a whole bunch of, it was a group that came in, so it was a lot of people's money thrown together. That was a $1,500 charge.
Let's talk about this scan app, because a lot of times you're buying these things and you don't know what the show's going to look like, right? But this is great.
So I like to put these up and around. I have some circles right now of the products I have in stock. I have some more coming in. You're actually able to pull up your smartphone and the camera, and when you bring it up, it'll bring you to the exact video of what you're buying.
And of course, we always want to remind people to know what their city ordinances are when it comes to setting off fireworks.
Yes, and we also like to put some free samples of the fire safety packets in all the bags. That way y'all know how to dispose of them, make sure they're not going to get relit, and just the proper care all around and usage of them.
All right, be safe out there. Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
All right, and yeah, very important information there for fireworks. I think we're going to go to Justin now, talk a little bit about our weather today. And obviously, you need to be careful, especially if you are going to be setting out fireworks. I know, you said earlier, you don't want to be that guy.
Don't be that guy.
Yeah.
$1,500 though? Yeah. Wow. That's a lot of fireworks.
You are not that guy.
No, but be careful. You probably don't need to hear that, but I'm going to say it anyway. Hey, if you're heading down to the beach, maybe for Independence Day, here's your forecast for Wednesday and Thursday. 90s. The bays will be slightly choppy. The sea's 2 to 3 feet, no big deal. But look at the water temperature. 88 to 90 degrees. It's like bath water down there. We know the Gulf of Mexico is warm. That's one reason we're keeping a close eye on the tropics. But that's the forecast if you're heading down to the beach. Our forecast here today, noontime, we'll be up around 91. Feels like numbers already approaching 100 at that point, and it'll feel like anywhere from 100 to 105 by the afternoon hours. I think the air temperature tops out at about 100. And yeah, we've seen some clear skies like that over the last couple nights, although a few clouds possible this morning. We're going to show you some more KSAT Connect pictures coming up, but we'll toss it back to RJ with a look at traffic. How are things out there right now?
All right, Justin. Yeah, quick check of our TransGuide traffic cameras, and things looking pretty good on your Tuesday morning commute. It is, of course, 5:34 right now, and we're taking a look at some of these cameras out there. Traffic looking pretty smooth out there, 37 Fair Avenue. The only thing that we're seeing at the moment is still that stalled vehicle. That's going to be I-10 East at basically Fulton Avenue. So that's going to be right in between the Hildebrand area for all of our folks that are a little bit northwest of downtown. Let's check in with that photojournalist, Alex Gomez. He's been in and around the north side, the northwest side. Alex, how are things looking?
They're looking okay for now, RJ. I'm over here on the far west side. This is going to be Highway 90 right at 1604. When you're this far west, there are a lot of fireworks stands out here, RJ. I'm tempted, but I don't do fireworks really. To me, that's literally burning your money away. But hey, to each his own, you know?
What were we saying earlier? It's like burning a hole in your pocket. Yeah, Patty did say, that's a quick way to burn your money. Absolutely. All right, thank you very much, Alex. We'll check back in with him, and of course, if anything pops up, we will let you know. All right, on to some other news here. Six Flags is now saying it has merged with theme park operator Cedar Fair. So this has actually been in the works for months, and we told you about this first back in November. So what does this all mean? Well, actually, it doesn't mean too much here. According to a press release, there are no plans to change any of the names or branding for the company's 30 parks across the country. The new Six Flags will begin trading tomorrow on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol FUN. I like that. And the company will be headquartered in Charlotte, North Carolina.
A new man is now at the helm of the city's animal care services. Michael Shannon, officially named interim director today. He takes over while the search continues for a permanent director. Michael Shannon will step into the interim director's role on July 15th.
Well, we're just talking about 4th of July, and have you already made your plans for Independence Day? Luckily, there's a lot of things, different ways to celebrate the 4th of July right here in San Antonio. Some of those events include a drone show, live music, and of course, it wouldn't be a party in San Antonio without our river parades. Right now on KSAT.com, you can read the full list of 4th of July activities that are planned all week long. The article is on the homepage of our website, and it looks just like this.
Now to the major Supreme Court ruling that granted former President Donald Trump broad immunity from prosecution. The multiple criminal cases he faces are now up in the air.
As the ex-president celebrates, President Biden is drawing a sharp contrast, saying that the decision emboldens Trump to do whatever he wants, especially if he regains power. ABC's M. Nguyen has the latest from Washington.
This morning, Donald Trump taking a victory lap after the U.S. Supreme Court ruled presidents have broad immunity from prosecution both during and after leaving office. The decision upends special counsel Jack Smith's January 6 case against Trump.
The court, in a rather complicated way, carved out various levels of immunity that a president might enjoy.
Those levels, Chief Justice John Roberts wrote, include the president's commander-in-chief powers, pardon power, hiring and firing federal officials, and more. Roberts went further, saying he is entitled to presumptive immunity, and that in dividing official from unofficial conduct, courts may not inquire into the president's motives.
In other words, it's going to be very challenging for Jack Smith to win the argument that everything alleged in the indictment is an unofficial act.
Justice Sonia Sotomayor delivering a blistering dissent, writing the decision reshapes the institution of the presidency, puts the president above the law. Citing the new decision, Trump has moved to also overturn his recent hush money conviction in New York, despite the case being centered around business records allegedly falsified while Trump was still a candidate in 2016. President Biden condemned the conservative 6-3 majority decision and vowed not to abuse the redefined powers granted to his position, but asked voters if they believe Trump will do the same if reelected.
The American people must decide. They want to entrust the president once again, the presidency, to Donald Trump, now knowing he'll be even more emboldened to do whatever he pleases whenever he wants to do it.
In his hush money case, Trump's lawyers are now asking the judge to allow them to challenge the verdict, which, if allowed, would delay Trump's sentencing set for next week. I'm Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
Meanwhile, more top Democrats are openly voicing concern about President Biden's future as the party's nominee. This comes after his performance in last week's presidential debate. Some top Democrats want assurances that the president is fit for the role of commander-in-chief for another 4 years. At the same time, other Democratic leaders say that they'll stick with Biden no matter what.
I think people want to make sure that this is a campaign that's ready to go and win, that the president and his team are being candid with us about his condition, that this was a real anomaly and not just the way he is these days.
And Biden's campaign is trying to shut down any talk of the president dropping out, saying that it would lead to chaos.
Time right now, 5:39, 78 degrees.
Yeah, you can feel it outside. Well, important news if you're planning to go shopping today. Speaking of maybe being out in the heat, after the break, we'll show you how to shop responsibly.
And taking a live look outside with our live cam, it is still dark out there. The sun hasn't peaked out quite yet, but you can see a lot of vehicles already on the road. I don't know if they're going to work or maybe they're going out to the lake. Where are you guys going? Tell us. All right, get this. Fast fashion and constantly buying new items is harming the environment. Every time new textiles are made, that means more items go into our landfills, and that's more chemicals that are released into our atmosphere.
Yeah, makes sense. But shopping secondhand at places like Goodwill can definitely help out Mother Nature. Sarah Costa shows us how thrift shopping at Goodwill can fight climate change.
You know, it takes 2,100 gallons of water to make just one pair of jeans, and 700 gallons of water to make one cotton t-shirt. According to research by the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, textile manufacturing produces more emissions than all international flights and shipping combined, and is responsible for more than 20% of wastewater produced globally. More items in the landfills means more greenhouse gases released, which contributes to global warming and climate change. It's why thrifting and shopping gently used doesn't just save you money, it's saving our planet.
I think a lot of people are shopping a little bit differently nowadays. So they're shopping eco-conscious and budget-conscious, and you can do both here at Goodwill.
Goodwill recovered 4.3 billion products across the globe in 2023. In San Antonio's 24 Goodwill stores, 1 million items were donated. In 2023, Goodwill repurposed 22.7 million items globally. And locally, 1.3 million pounds of hazardous electronic equipment was responsibly recycled. So you can do your part by donating gently used items to your nearest Goodwill donation station and by shopping at your local Goodwill store. Sarah Costa, KSAT 12 News.
I can get behind this
for
shopping. I don't like the clothes, but like the reusing things, plates, that kind of stuff.
Absolutely, yeah. Anything that helps obviously save a buck and the environment too. Sarah looked like she had a good time there.
She did. I bet she's going to wear some of that wardrobe next week.
Absolutely.
All right. Time right now, 5:45, 78 degrees.
All right, we're going to give you one quick look here at Drive Cam, and Alex Gomez has been on the roads for us, and he tells us that things are looking pretty good out there, but you never know. Things can pop up in a second. We'll check in with him coming up here in just a little bit.
A local woman says it was part instinct and part divine intervention that led her to 3 children sweating alone in a hot car.
Yes, this woman recorded the rescue on her phone, and if you've not seen this video has gone viral. As KSAT's Katrina Weber reports, the mother of those children is now facing criminal charges.
Chances are you've seen it on social media. Video of a crying boy who San Antonio police say was left with his 2 siblings in a hot car Friday afternoon.
He was sweating profusely. The little girl, to me, she looked like she was in shock.
This woman who wanted to hide her face saw it in real life and led the rescue of the children between 1 month and 4 years old. She had just left her own car in this parking lot near Highway 281 in Thousand Oaks when she noticed the boy in the front seat with no adults around.
I kind of did like a double take, and I said, no, I'm going to listen to my instincts and I'm going to see what's going on.
After calling 911, she started recording this video, which has since gone viral. She and others got the children out through an unlocked door. The high temperature Friday was in the triple digits. Inside the car, it was likely sweltering. It's a nice, bright, sunny day, about 93 degrees outside. We're going to put this into the car for about 50 minutes, the time the children were left alone, and see just how hot it gets. Okay, 50 minutes have gone by. We're going to check the temperature here. You can see that it's already 100 degrees. In this case, the children were not seriously hurt, but their mother, 33-year-old Angela Garza Amador, is facing serious charges. She was arrested when she showed up at the scene.
I'm just glad that I was there at the right time. I feel like it was God sent.
She says she hopes others will learn from this, not to take this kind of risk with the lives of children. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Yeah, you got to be really careful out there with kids and pets staying in there.
Yeah, I was reading that if it's 80 degrees outside, that'll already get you up to triple digits, especially in a hot car. So, and especially for that woman right there, that lady, thankfully she was right there and made the right decision to notify officials and make sure those kiddos were safe.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good job out there.
All right, let's check out traffic right now. Alex Gomez has been on the roads for us as we take a look at some TransGuide traffic cameras. We see the traffic moving pretty well. I-10 Frio, downtown area. No major incidents to let you know about right now. One more shot there, 35 at Alamo. All right, let's go to the aforementioned Alex Gomez. All right, Alex, looks like we have a few more people on the roads with you right now. How are things looking?
Yeah, just a few more cars, but speeds are still pretty fast over here on the east side. I drove from the west side all the way to the east side on I-10 eastbound right here near MLK Drive, and so far, no issues, RJ.
All right, that is good to hear, especially if you're about to make your way out before we get to our 6 o'clock hour. Thank you very much, Alex, for checking things out on the ground with our drive cam. All right, Justin, we're getting ready. 4th of July, man. Got big plans here? Going to be here?
You know, I don't actually, but I know a lot of people will probably be hitting the rivers, the lakes, the beaches, and we want to get you updated on all that. We talked a little bit about the rivers and beaches. The reservoir levels, you know this, it isn't good. Kangen's at 56.4%. Medina is hardly there, 2.3%. Choke is about 22, Amistad 24. These are all extremely low numbers. Well below average. It's been a rough stretch, rough about 3 years now. Any sort of rain would be helpful. Tropical rainfall, even more helpful. Is that a possibility? Maybe as we get into next week. We'll talk about that in just a second. 79 in San Antonio right now, 77 in New Braunfels, 73 Bernie, 74 Kerrville. Pretty typical morning around here, and we'll see temperatures get up to 100 this afternoon. Feels like numbers going to be close to 103. When you factor in that humidity, so the heat index around the area anywhere from 100 to 105. It's another one of those days where you do have to be careful. And you just saw that story there. Again, hot cars, a big issue this time of year. You got to be so very careful. Let's look at the tropical satellite and take a look at what's going on with Beryl. This is a healthy hurricane, Category 5. Winds were at 165 miles per hour. Still looking pretty good. Now, it's going to encounter some wind shear as it moves west, so that should weaken it just a little bit as it moves towards Jamaica, but this is still a major hurricane. By the time it gets to Jamaica, we're still talking about a Category 3. This will be on Wednesday, and then as it gets towards Cancun and the Yucatan on Friday, probably weakening to a Category 1, and then as it crosses land, turning into a tropical storm. What does that mean for us? Well, I think there's still a lot of questions here as to where this moves and its strength and its position. Here are the latest spaghetti plots, and these have changed, and that's what happens with these storm systems. This far out, you're going to see these flip-flop back and forth. Computer models are going to kind of be all over the place, and that's why we can't give you any sort of specific forecast. But these latest spaghetti plots do show that this may take a turn as it gets a little closer to Mexico and maybe try to move some of that moisture up into Texas. That would be beneficial for us. Of course, we don't want a re-strengthening hurricane, which is a possibility too. All of these things we have to watch. So our forecast, 99 Wednesday, 99 Thursday for Independence Day. And then as we get into the weekend, what we'll do is we'll lower temperatures a little bit. 97 Saturday, 94 Sunday, 94 on Monday to account for some of the clouds. We're also going to get a weak frontal boundary that's going to try to get close by Saturday and Sunday that may kick up some showers or storms. And then we'll add in those rain chances early next week to account for any tropical moisture that may make its way into the area. We'll certainly keep you posted. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Listen to this. Pope Francis has approved the canonization for Carlo Acutis, which would make him the first millennial saint.
Yeah, this is a big deal here. So the video gaming Italian teenager died from leukemia back in 2006 at the age of 15. Acutis was nicknamed God's influencer because he used his computing skills to spread awareness of the Catholic faith.
And the church's sainthood process normally requires 2 miracles attributed to the candidate. Acutis' first miracle was in 2020 when a boy with a birth defect was reportedly healed after his mother said she prayed to Acutis for help.
And his second came after a mother said that her daughter, who fell and developed head trauma, was healed after she went to Acutis' tomb to pray. The date for the canonization has yet to be set.
Very interesting. It's very rare that this happens.
Yeah, it's very rare. St. Carlo or St. Acutis. Oh, there we go. Yeah, very interesting. Yeah. All right, taking a look at our drive cam right now outside. Photojournalist Alex Gomez hitting the roads for us. We're going to check in with him in just a little bit at the top of our 6 o'clock hour. Thanks for hanging out with us this morning on Good Morning San Antonio.